Well, Mama V is here. Mama V.
Oh, good morning, Roland.
Yeah. Are you feeling the heat? I feel lots of heat.
Chalet.
And then if there are those surges in power, then it makes
it worse.
climate change is not good.
It makes it worse.
I wish I was living in the 14th century when the climate was good. Africa was not hot. I would have been moving around with Sundiata, Mansa Musa.
Roland.
I'm telling you, son of Mansa Musa, the richest man. But look, Karim Bukari. Mr. Karim Bukari works with the Forestry Commission. You're based in Jasikan, and your family is in Sunyain currently. Good morning to you. Salif Fukombat, currently in Tamale, heading towards Boko this morning. Good morning as well. I haven't finished last one. Nana Benyin Brentson, you're in Cape Coast. Good morning to you as well. Okay, it's 46 minutes past. I've been alerted by my director. Too many requests.
Let's do the newspapers.
Yes,
I'll start with the Daily Graphic newspaper. Front page of the Graphic. Taxi driver busted for cocaine, expels 100 pellets after quarantine. Story says, and it's by Mary Mensah of the Daily Graphic. It says officials of the Narcotics Control Board at the Kotoka International Airport have busted a Ghanaian taxi driver based in the Netherlands for allegedly trafficking in a narcotic drug. The suspect, Oponkwe Kowusu, 52, was arrested at the departure hall of KIA while going through departure formalities to board a flight back to his base in the Netherlands. He was pulled in aside by NACOP officials on suspicion of having ingested some foreign substances, but he denied vehemently. However, a search in his carry-on bag revealed 3 large parcels of a substance suspected to be narcotic drug. Okay, which is all a bit unbelievable, because why would you carry this, like that? But it says for which reason he was detained for further questioning. When he realized that time was running out for him, he broke down and confessed that he had swallowed some pellets of cocaine. He was then placed under close observation by NACOP officials, during which he managed to expel all the 100 thumb-sized pellets of a powdery substance suspected to be narcotic drug, which he had swallowed. So you'd see very detailed, like if you go to page 3, the investigators from NACOP cutting open the suspect's hand luggage. Okay, so I don't think it was just you open the bag and then you see the substances. I guess they had to dig in and do a lot more work. We don't do that border control in terms of the series in Ghana, but I'm just picturing that
because you
border
get to find
control.
that a good friend of mine, Benjamin Tufomenu in the UK, always refers me to their YouTube channel, the Border Patrol guard. They are always with the sniffing dogs or the sniffer dogs going around their luggage or the baggage, and at the end of the day, if they get to suspect anything, the dogs will fish you out. Yeah.
Okay, so a lot more details on page 3. He arrived in Ghana February 7. You can read all about, the backstory to this in the Daily Graphic newspaper. Still on the front page, though, Anadako sells Ghana assets to Total for $2.5 billion. ECG halts maintenance to reduce outages. That story on page 16 in the Graphic. It's got the picture of the managing director, Mr. Kwame Ajimai Buru. So page 16 says the Electricity Company of Ghana has halted maintenance work of its 6,623 transformers within the Greater Accra region until ongoing works on the West African gas pipeline are completed next month. The move was to ensure that daytime power outages that resulted from the shutdown of the transformers to allow for maintenance works were reduced to the barest minimum. That's according to the managing director as he spoke to the Daily Graphic. He said the works would remain on hold until ongoing works on the pipeline, which were also interrupting upstream power generation, were completed. So this gives the indication that ECG itself is also doing some maintenance work. That's different from what the gas pipeline is doing in terms of our connection from Nigeria to Ghana. I mean, it's all, still getting bits and pieces, and it's still ECG not directly explaining, or Gridco, or any of them directly telling us what to do. And if you speak to the people that we talk to, who are the analysts, they say, well, we actually don't even know how much they are shedding right now because nobody's given the information, and the places where we go to source for the information, it's, you know, they've gone blank on us. Nobody's given us anything. It's like we're all in the dark, just like when the lights go off and it's dark. There's no timetable. We've been talking about it. There's still no timetable. So there's a lot more to the story. When we do AM Talk, we would try and bring a lot more angles to this. I guess the bottom line really is that, you know, irrespective of what's happening, we want power. If we don't have the power, we need to see a certain schedule that tells us that there is some works ongoing. But in the meantime, for the next 2 weeks or whatever it is, you go off between this time and that, so people can plan. I mean, that's what it is.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
But I think also it's also a matter of courtesy, because in customer service, you need to develop that great relationship. And we have relationship with you because we need the power, but we also buy from you.
Exactly.
And you have to give us that courtesy. And I feel that sometimes it's a bit unnerving, a bit insulting.
Yeah.
To know that a big power company that is distributing power would not want to relate well with its customers. And it's appalling.
Yeah, and we have to go chasing them before they can give us some information. But this is also another issue that was huge yesterday, a bit unbelievable because it came from Parliament, particularly the Speaker. The headline on the front page reads, "Your coverage to serve interests of Parliament. Speaker cautions press corps." This is a bit toned down, isn't it? It doesn't give you that. And okay, let's do the center spread.
Well, we do have an insert here, so I do know that JoyNews, we have the insert right there.
In the center spread of the paper, Sunyain Traditional Council begins funeral of Queen Mother. That's also brought some, you know, uncomfortable. No, it's not uncomfortable. I mean, uncalled for, especially those videos that we saw. I don't know if Roland, you saw. You know, people chasing. Apparently, you're not supposed to wear white. You're not supposed to wear white. You're supposed to be in black. So if you were seen wearing anything other than black, then they would chase you and whip you.
Yeah, and we've seen the videos.
Beat you.
We've seen the videos.
And we're saying that if that's really true, and it's really true, it's coming from the Sunyain Traditional Council.
Well, it's true. I have a video too.
You have no rights to catch somebody else and beat them. You are not the law.
Yeah, and
you are not the law.
And it speaks volumes about how, in this modern age, we still think that tradition, because it is important, should also infringe on the rights of people.
It is important. It's supposed to be
exactly
side by side. You get what I mean? But everybody's got human rights. Like, I am me, you are you. You have no business, not even the police is allowed to chase people and beat them. You know? And I think sometimes it gets into our heads. Like, you think you're powerful. You're not more powerful.
Because you know, before this, there should have been some sort of education. And they may think that they have educated.
Even if there is education and people go against it. If that's what we're doing in Ghana.
Because what I see is pure brutality.
Of course it is.
You're brutalized.
It's indiscipline, impunity, and it's just happening because we allow it to happen.
Somebody could fall.
It's not right.
Somebody could fall.
It is absolutely not right.
Just trip.
Yep.
And have a concussion or something of the sort.
All right, so there's another smuggling story on the back page of the Daily Graphic. Tamale GRA office seizes 550 containers of smuggled oil, and police impound 261 motorbikes, 23 tricycles. The Business Finder, front page, oil production under threats as inadequate gas infrastructure poses gloomy prospects. Let's support Ghanaian firms to grow. Ignore rumors of CAP 30 cancellation, according to government. The market summary, if you want to check out how it looks like, well, you can grab the Business Finder. So let's do the Ghanaian Times front page. Legon Center for Migration urges government lift ban on migration to Gulf states. Calm returns to Kumasi Abattoir after 2 butcher factions clash. 12 seriously injured, property destroyed. House approves $895.4 million for Lugu multi-purpose dam projects. NLA vows to clamp down on illegal operation of *959 hash mobile game. And 5 NIB staff in courts for 1.1 million Ghana cedis bank fraud. So there were alleged to have transferred these huge sums to accounts of customers of the bank. So the customers didn't own those monies. They just wired it through their accounts and then, you know, whatever. I'm sure you've heard about stories like that, but here's a real one that's happening. It's rolling out in court. If you're interested, you can follow up. Back page of the paper, construction of cocoa. Not sure if it is Lava Lab because it's, oh, it's flavor. So the print didn't come out well, but it's construction of Cocoa Flavor Lab Quality Training Center underway at Tafo, and 830 inmates discharged through Justice for All program since 2007. The last newspaper is the Daily Statesman. For me, your CAP 30 pension is intact as government assures police, security officers. Information Ministry begins sensitization of MDAs on RTI Act. And John Boedu, General Secretary of the NPP, says date for NPP primaries remains April 25. Apparently, some people are misinforming a section of the public, and they seek to correct that. Roland?
Yeah. Now let's go to the Daily Guide. Has the main story, or the banner headlines, is the term, I brought free SHS, Mahama claims, has an attack picture of John Dramani Mahama, as the caption reads. We also do have NHIA pays 91 million Ghana cedi claims. Other stories, Nana visits North Pole. Yeah. So you have pictures circulating, especially on social media, but now finding their way on mainstream media. The president of our republic, well-clothed, in North Pole-like attire. And so Nana visits North Pole with, or in the company of the minister or the prime minister of Norway and Amir of Kano, who was a former central bank governor of Nigeria, Amir Sanusi of Kano. All right. We also do have Domalavo speaks on MP Get Fund scholarship. There's a statement that was formally issued. And the statement also tells about how the Auditor General's Department did not cause the publications in the media, but they are entitled with the law that grants them the powers to publish on you know, their sites, send that report to the Parliament, etc. If the media publishes according to the statement, that should be no fault of the Auditor General, seems to indicate. NLA clamps down on short code operators. I was looking for the short code so that I can test it.
But I thought that by publishing the short code itself, you're given
to see that it works. But I haven't. But my phone is off, so immediately it comes on. I'll test the short code to see whether I'll win. And Tulu took a crack.
Roland, isn't that illegal?
No.
Isn't that what the whole thing is?
The NLA, which is the authority that regulates it, says it is illegal. Yeah, but the short code, I want to test it. May test it.
How do you test something that the regulator says is illegal?
Evidence-based approach. I have to test it. To me, test it.
Well, are you the regulator or you are the regulator? I
want to see whether truly I go feel win something.
So I didn't even get until I read the headline, and I thought by publishing the short code itself, you're making it more popular now.
I think so.
Yeah.
Gamers will quickly go and scramble. So they should have just gone on the silent too.
Yeah, whose communication strategy was that? Yeah. To put it right back in the papers and in the media.
It's got a pros and cons relationship.
I didn't know there was a short code.
Yeah, I didn't know either. But it's because you don't belong to the gaming community. Because even though you've seen the short code, you are not interested. But you know, I've seen the short code, I'm interested.
Yeah, but you didn't know before. But now you're
so your argument holds. But at the same time, you're not a converted person, even though you've seen the short code. So both of us have got
okay.
Yeah.
Well,
if you don't like lotto or gambling, I mean, you're not going to like it. So.
We've got to run. We've got sports coming your way, but real quick, maybe we can do a minute of myjournline.com if it's possible. Oh, sorry.
79 vie for 27 seats in Eastern Region. And some
which
interesting
paper
issues. The Daily Dispatch newspaper. And, you know, our own friend Seth Echampong is vying for the seat alongside a good a good friend of
But he's
ours too,
hoping
David.
to retain. That's what it is. He is the incumbent.
Well, he's the incumbent, and he's doing this with David Ansaupuku. You know him very well.
No, I don't. Let's do my Joy Online. I know Sedi Champon very well. Front page. Did I say front page of my Joy Online? Ayaka. All right, let's do my JoyOnline.com. NDC wants NPP youth organizer investigated over alleged involvement in illegal mining. Details there on my Joy Online. Also, how a Nigerian woman ended up married to 2 men. Fantastic. You know, when a man does it, it's no news. When a woman does it, I guess it's nice. Headline. Get fund scholarships. I disagree with modus of Auditor General. That's according to the majority leader. I wonder exactly what is.
As you move on, David Ansaupuku is OPK.
Yes, I know. Illegal mining. So you know I know the name. I don't know the personality. Task force destroys 250 dredging boats on River Cobra. Health and economic impact of motorbikes and tricycles for commercial transport. Kumasi perspective. Oh, I see some hats right there. What's that? Oh, Hearts Protocol match in London postponed. Doesn't have to do with the coronavirus, does it? Well, Benedict will be here. He will explain. Receiver for defined financial institutions to issue 8,000 claims. Didn't quite end. Parliament denies press gagging. Claims against Speaker. Charlie, I read the text. Is that what Mr. Speaker said?
That what? You mean the text and what the Speaker said?
Disgusting. Media personnel rise against Speaker's threats to withdraw journalist accreditation. That one, dear Charlie, it is below the belts. You know? I don't know. I thought, like, you're telling us what to do now? I mean, like that. We will talk about the Speaker's issue and whether it was a warning, it was a gagging, it was a threat on AM Talk after sport. But we've got a lot of sports to share with you here on the show. What do you want to say?
Nothing.
Mr. Speaker will sack you. Like it's a privilege to report from Parliament. Yeah, apparently it is. Stay with us. You're watching the AM show.